Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a close look at what is basically the ultimate self-repairing metabolic engine of your body. We're talking about the liver. It's this incredible organ that processes literally everything you eat, stores your energy, and filters out the bad stuff. And honestly, it's the only organ in your entire body that can actually repair itself after getting injured. But here's the thing. Right now, there's this massive hidden threat sweeping across the globe, and it's secretly putting this vital engine under siege.
So I really want to pose this question to you. What vital organ can repair itself but is silently under attack in a massive chunk of the adult population? You absolutely cannot live without it. It's totally crucial for your immune system and your digestion, and yet it's quietly suffering in millions of people right now, and most of them don't even know it.
30%. That is the staggering statistic of U.S. adults who currently have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. And, this isn't just a Western issue at all. Millions of people in India are quietly dealing with this exact same condition. The main reason? It's actually tied to being overweight and the excess fat deposited in our bodies. That fat constantly releases fatty acids straight into the bloodstream, where they head directly into the liver.
Section 1. The Silent Liver Epidemic, a disease without warning. Section 2. Stages of liver disease, from fat to fibrosis. When we trace how this disease progresses, it starts with steatosis, which is just a simple fatty liver. Excess fat starts to build up. But because these early stages rarely present any symptoms whatsoever, it's usually completely unnoticeable. The good news? At this stage, it's highly reversible. But if it's ignored, it progresses to NASH, that's non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. This is where the fat starts causing actual inflammation and cell injury. If we don't halt it right there, we cross a terrifying threshold into fibrosis and eventually cirrhosis. That's where extensive, completely irreversible scarring severely disrupts how the liver functions, leading to a massive risk of liver failure.
Section 3. Foods that cause harm. The fructose overload.
The really crucial thing to understand here is the difference between your carbohydrates. When you eat simple carbs, sweets, processed snacks, they cause a super rapid blood sugar spike. Your liver gets completely overwhelmed and just converts those simple carbs directly into fat droplets, storing them right inside the liver cells. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, act like a slow, steady fuel that actually protects the liver instead of flooding it.
So, what are the worst offenders flooding our metabolic engine? Well, fructose is a massive enemy here because it's metabolized almost exclusively in the liver. We're talking packaged juices, sweets, and cold drinks. Then you've got refined flours like maida and white bread, and fried foods like samosas, which are just loaded with trans fats that deposit straight into the liver. Oh, and dried fruits are actually unexpectedly high in added sugars, so you're always better off eating whole, fresh fruits. And crucially, if you have NAFLD, even moderate alcohol accelerates that liver inflammation. It's got to be strictly off limits.
Okay, let's talk about an incredibly practical skill, reading a nutrition label at the grocery store to protect your liver. When you're checking the back of a package, you really want to zero in on two specific numbers. First, added sugars. You want to target foods with less than 8 grams of added sugars per serving. Second, dietary fiber. You want foods that boast greater than 5 grams of fiber. Fiber slows down digestion and actually reduces fat absorption, which indirectly acts as a shield for your liver.
Section 4. Building a liver-saving diet. Food as first medicine. The really amazing news here is that every single hepatologist completely agrees on one thing. In early-stage fatty liver, no medication works effectively without dietary support. Food is literally your first and best medicine to reverse this. Now, when we talk about veggies, we kind of tend to think they're all created equal, right? But for liver health, they definitely aren't. Starchy vegetables like potatoes and corn act a lot more like simple carbs and really should be limited. But non-starchy vegetables, those are absolute powerhouses. Things like spinach, broccoli, and cabbage. In fact, studies actually show that eating raw spinach specifically reduces the risk of NAFLD.
And if we apply this to traditional Indian eating habits, you get an incredibly potent liver-healing diet. Just think about these swaps. Instead of white rice and maida, switch to high-fiber millets like bajra or jowar. You can load up on lean proteins like moong dal or tofu to help repair those liver cells. You also want to utilize antioxidants. Curcumin, which is the active compound in turmeric, has actually been shown in research to actively reduce liver enzymes. And please, don't fear healthy fats. A handful of walnuts or a drizzle of olive oil gives you omega-3s that actively bring down liver inflammation.
Now, when it comes to what we're drinking, you have got to drop the sugary sodas and packaged fruit juices. They are basically just concentrated fructose bombs that totally bypass your body's natural fiber filters. Instead, you want to hydrate with liver-friendly drinks. Water is obviously non-negotiable. Spiced buttermilk, or chas, is absolutely fantastic for digestion. And amazingly, 2 cups of unsweetened coffee per day have been strongly linked to lower liver enzyme levels. How cool is that?
Section 5. The Reversal Roadmap. Actionable Lifestyle Changes.
Okay, so let's break down this ultimate reversal roadmap. Step 1 is the big one, losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight. For a 75-kilogram person, that's losing less than 4 to 8 kilos. That is highly achievable, and doing so can reduce liver fat by up to 30 to 40%. Step 2 is mixing both aerobic and resistance exercise, which actually independently reduces liver fat, even if you don't end up losing weight. Step 3, prioritize 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because poor sleep raises your cortisol levels, and that just promotes fat storage. And finally, change up how you cook. Steam, grill, or pressure cook, and just completely ditch the deep frying. The absolute golden rule of liver recovery here is that consistency matters far more than perfection. Seriously, please avoid crash diets. Prolonged fasting and crash dieting actually stress the liver out and can make inflammation worse. Your liver needs a steady supply of nutrients to heal itself. If you just stick to steady, healthy habits, you can expect to see your ALT and AST, those are the key enzymes that indicate liver health, normalize over a period of about 3 to 12 months depending on the grade of the disease.
Section 6. The Future of Treatment. Beyond the Plate.
So, looking forward, there is a real clinical trial currently underway at AIIMS in India. Scientists are exploring fecal microbiotransplantation, or FMT. They are literally looking at how modulating the bacteria in our gut microbiome could heal severe inflammation and scarring in a NASH patient's liver. It just goes to show how deeply interconnected our digestive system and our liver truly are.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. If food is our absolute first medicine in reversing this silent epidemic, could the trillions of bacteria living right now inside our gut eventually hold the ultimate cure to saving our metabolic engines? It's a truly fascinating frontier in medicine, but it all starts with what we choose to put on our plates today. Keep learning, keep taking care of your liver, and thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.